us do that are Ook the Librarian, who you'll see next week, and Dimwit, who you'll see later tonight.
Hey, how's it going, Nuke?
It's going pretty well, Dimwit. How about yourself?
Not too bad, not too bad. Looking forward to this matchup. We have Watchmuh and Sarasparktacula. And one of the exciting things about this matchup is I don't think they've ever faced each other before.
Well, not this year, no, but they did see each other back in April of last year. It was a second round, 2 versus 10 match, which went 2-1. So it did go the distance the last time they met. I, there's been a lot of Dr. Mario under the bridge since then. So both players, there's no telling what we're going to see out of these two.
Yeah, that's great. I'm looking forward to it.
And they've got a very similar level 6 averages or 6 through 9 averages this year, but uh, based on how they've been doing just in the tournament, Watchmuh does have a couple of wins. Sarah's still, like so many of us, looking for her first win for this year. But Sarah is definitely no slouch. Of course, has made it to the finals before, and Watchmuh, I believe, has made several semifinals.
Well, I feel like when I watch Watchmuh, I'm always learning something new. A lot of players, most players, when I watch them and I see them make moves, I'm like, yeah, okay, that wasn't like what I was going to choose necessarily, but that was on my menu. And maybe that one is even better than the one I would have picked. But at least I was thinking of that as a choice. But a lot of times when I watch Watchma, he makes a move, and I'm like, that was not even on my menu. So I'm excited to see some more of that. And I'm excited to see Sarah, who I've given some coaching to recently. And we'll see how things go for her. Hopefully that pays off. So let's see how they do.
Absolutely. With both of our players going now, we've got a, a little bit of a floaty board for Sarah, and not the greatest color diversity, although she does find ways to use what she's got to really make some nice combos there. On Watchman's side, you see he's got quite the low board right now. That's really where you want to see it at this point.
Yeah, they are
It is
really neck and neck, not just on virus count, but on board health as well, I would say. Bringing the level of the board down very quickly are both players.
and it's getting a little dicey on Sarah's side. I think she's actually finding some really nice combos. And maybe this is some practice for the upcoming Dr. Mario Championships in verses. I don't know, but she's definitely putting some really good plays together to get some good combos going on.
Yeah, she's going to have to make a few tucks, but they're definitely things that these are moves that we know how to make.
Meanwhile, on Watchman's side, we see him coming out at just about a 1 minute 15. That's a really good time for him, as he is getting a really good opening board for this level 7. I know he's hoping for a double red, and I'm wondering. It looks like he's not going to commit to that. Probably as good a time as any to go ahead and set off that horizontal double red.
Very solid play. And Sarah is now into level 7 as well, starting off with a very strange top line. Looks like she's going to need to get some yellow-blue and yellow-red pairs to open things up.
It's lightning bolt
Just the
though.
one red virus on top, and sort of a frustrating amount of fall time no matter how she clears it. So that's going to be something that she's working out how to deal with.
Absolutely. I love tuck plays, I really do, but having to see them in the second or third pill that you get because you just don't have a place to put anything, that's not something you want to see this early in a round.
Sure. And Sarah's put herself in a bit of a pickle here. She wants to get a yellow-blue to clear this blue virus in the middle of her board from underneath without blocking off the clear of the yellow at the bottom. But at the same time, a yellow-blue would have cleared away some things she didn't want to clear. So finding ways to deal with that that problem. And there it goes. That'll be the last of that problem.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, we had a bit of a misflip on Sarah's side as well, so that's going to slow her down a little bit as we've got Watchmuh out of level 7 and tearing through this level 8. He's already down to 21 viruses, with Sarah coming out at about a 321 and looking at about half a level's deficit right now.
Yep, this is definitely a difference that would need to be made up. As Watchmuh is setting up for some combos on the bottom of his screen before he even gets there. Some great planning that he's doing here.
Absolutely. Oh, and that double yellow, as always, comes one pill too late. It didn't affect his setup too badly, though, and that's it's going to allow him to set up some really good combos. Meanwhile, as we look at Sarah's side, she is making steady progress in this level 8, but she's really going to have to make some creative plays in order to make up for this deficit that she finds herself in right now.
Now, Watchmuh has cleared out all the viruses in rows 1 through 5, which means he has a lot of places to put garbage, but he's also in this situation where he's produced so much garbage that it's blocking him from being very flexible on the right side of his board. So he may have to throw away 1 or 2 pills that have colors of the remaining viruses, just because the other half of it would be too damaging to place down. But he is going to get out of level 8 at a 444.
And that's a pretty solid time. Unfortunately, on Sarah's side, it's the doctor's not giving her what she needs, and what she needs is a lot of red. And unfortunately, he's just taking his time getting it to her. Is starting to finally get those pieces out her way, but it's really given her a slowdown as even all of her garbage is red now. So that's it's not what you want to see, but looks like she's getting some really good RNG to finish out the level. She will be out at a 526.
Now, Watchma is setting up. He could set up for a fat log on the left of his screen. Don't know whether he'll choose to do that. Also had an excellent choice there, which was to not bother waiting for the fat log and do something that was less risky. Going to use this double yellow to get a big horizontal clear at the bottom of his screen, open up a lot of space, and get rid of one of his dangerous colors, which is yellow. It's going to be a problem for him by the time the level finishes off.
Look at that RNG that's coming up for him as well. He's gonna the next red that he gets, he will be able to set it down and get himself a nice, just a wonderful combo coming out of that. That is some great play for him. Not really the best end game setup here, but that double blue is going to make it perfect.
So lucky.
Oh wow, that's great RNG coming in for Watchman. He'll be out of round the first game at a 6:30.
So Watchma will be taking the first game of this match.
And Sarah not actually too far behind. She made up quite a bit of ground towards the end with that level, with a really solid level 8 and level 9. It's just, you have a little bit of a snag, and it really just the game starts fighting you. So GG's to both of our players as we get ready up for game 2.
Chad observing that it looks like Wario is sitting in Watchma's lap. Got little pet from the Mushroom Kingdom.
It's actually, things are a little bit backwards. We're actually accustomed to seeing just Wario on Watchma's screen, and Sarah having her face cam on. Now we've got well, whatever the opposite of a Packy is, with Watchma's chin on the screen, and no camera from Sarah today.
Looks like we did get our readies out, and the countdown is going at 3, 2, 1, and pills. There we are. Players are off. Watchmuh with almost no yellow on the top of his board. He's got 2, but they'll be taken off the board very quickly, and all the rest of his yellow is on rows 1, 2, and 3. Going to be a little while before he gets down there, so yellow will be pretty much useless for him for a little while. Going to be throwing it away and just focusing on using the other half of the pills that he gets with yellow on them.
Sarah running into quite a bit of the same problem early in her level. And at this point, it's kind of a blue world. She needs more blue, and thankfully the doctor's starting to give that to her. But yeah, she when you were talking about Watchman's problems, I looked over at Sarah's and said, "Wow, that's the exact same thing. She's just it's all blue and she doesn't have any more yellow." So
It's blue abadi abadai for both players.
oh my goodness. For those of you who laughed at that joke, it's probably time to take your afternoon medicines.
Rude.
I'm one of the ones laughing. So
Watchma down to the bottom of his screen, just 6 viruses left to Sarah's 7. So, as usual, neck and neck for these players. And it's just a race to see who gets the last little bit here. Watchma setting up to clear the last red on the bottom right horizontally, gets that out, gets his red, and he'll be out at a 129, just a little bit ahead of Sarah. As she is finishing off, just needs one more blue. She's going to get it out at a 139. Very close, just 10 seconds apart at the moment.
Sarah was hoping to get that horizontal to go a little earlier in the round, but unfortunately, it would have really caused some issues with her board. So making some good calls to go ahead and take care of those things a little bit later. As wow, she's making garbage into just exactly what she needs it to be, and that's a combination of good RNG and really heads up play.
That was definitely the result of thinking ahead very carefully. So excellent play by Sarah there. But Watchma has pulled ahead just a little bit here, about 6 virus lead as he comes down to the bottom of his board. He's going to be working hard to finish off these last few red viruses. Has set himself up to make a horizontal clear on the yellows, which is very efficient. But to do that, he needs to spend some of his red on red garbage instead of red viruses. So that's going to cost him a little bit, but he gets a bunch of double reds, and that takes care of his level for him.
Assuming he does get that last red, there it comes out. So Watchman out at a 256, but Sarah not very far behind at all. She's got a little bit of an issue with this yellow because just the way the pills are laid out. But she is going to find herself decides to use that yellow to get rid of some garbage, and she is out at a 319.
Very good time. Now, Watchma is searching for clears that don't require much fall time. So you see that at the moment he has basically no blue on the top of his screen. So he's setting things up to make clears without that available to him.
And that's he's making some really smart plays. This level 8 is not going to stand up to him for very long. And Sarah, that board is it's all over the place. She's got a very split board going on right now, and that's through no fault of her own. It's just one of the board types the game likes to give you, and that column 1 it's running the risk of becoming an issue. If she gets the right pills, she gets a red yellow maybe. She'll be able to take care of it pretty quickly, but that could really slow her down. But she is still practically tied with Watchman right now, although that misflipped red blue on the top may prove to be a bit of an issue.
She is behind in virus counts a little bit, but her board health is just so much better at the moment. This double blue for Watchma is going to save him some trouble there, and he'll open up his final virus. But for a little while there, he was definitely dealing with some garbage issues.
So you're getting a
And
very
that's
fortuitous
brought
double
Sarah back.
play,
She'll be out first.
but not by much. So we're
Wow,
practically in a dead heat here.
this is 2 seconds apart at the moment. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we're both just looking at the boards, thinking, "Oh my gosh, what's going to happen? What's going to happen?" So yeah, sometimes that happens when you're doing commentary. I think you just kind of you're paying attention to what's going on the board, and suddenly it's a real race, and you're like, "Oh my goodness!"
When did
So
this happen?
yeah,
Just now, I guess. But here we go.
yeah, things are very close. Sarah's got a really nice board. Watchmuh pulling out a really nice combo there, but it gets rid of the last of his blues for the top of the board, and naturally that's what the doctor thinks he needs. So that's going to give Sarah
Oh.
a little bit of time, but she is also sitting on a lot of blues on the top of her board.
And she did just make a little bit of a misflip that would have made a very efficient clear on both the yellows and the blues at the left. Just slightly missed it and now has a bunch of garbage left over from that. Sort of a frustrating situation to be in.
And the garbage is there. I think she's going to find ways out of it, but it is going to slow her down just a little bit. Meanwhile, Watchman's side, he's clearing up his board. He's got really good board health, especially with these double blues coming. And if he chooses, he might want to work on that double. Yeah, that double red's going to give him the clear at the bottom. And now it's just a little bit of yellow and one red away from making him into round two.
Looking very close here with the virus counts being 6-3 as we go into the last little bit of this level. But Sarah with garbage on top of almost every column, that's going to be tough to use. And Watchmuh takes advantage of that, pulls out ahead at a 7:06.
So GG's to both of our players. That was a very tight level 9, and we're just so glad to be able to watch you guys play. And that's GG's to both of you guys.